pepper spray access by all police departments in Massachusetts. We demand the end to all additional prison restoration, constructions, and expansions in the state of Massachusetts. We demand the release of all prisoners in jails, prisons, and detention centers in Massachusetts, prosecuted by the state for non-violent crimes by review processes that reevaluate sentence terms. And the last one, which is very important, especially what's going on right around the corner. We demand the decriminalization of mental health episodes, people with disability, homelessness, drug-related incidents, and all other non-violent crimes formed by the conditions of our society, and instead the allocation of funds towards programs that address these issues, such as mental health treatments, housing first initiatives, and equitable access to education, and much, much more. Alright, so before we get started, life is really fucked up, so we need to get into a good space, because when we go on to this march, we need to march with purpose. We need to march with intent. I want everybody to go home in the same condition in which you came here today. I'm not going to tell you how to protest, but I'm going to just tell you what I wish. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up Hiba, who is going to help us with the grounding exercise. Thank you. Make some noise for Hiba. Make some noise for Hiba, y'all.
Okay, hi guys. So actually, I'm not doing the grounding exercise, Mila is. So I'm just gonna ask you guys to pay attention closely to what they ask of you, and just, kind of keep quiet as they do this grounding exercise so we can all focus and just bring in the good energy, all right? Mila, you can come.
This is good. Yep. Hi everybody. My name is Camila de la Vega Maldonado. I use she, they pronouns. Before we get started, I'm going to do a little bit of space moving. I'm going to ask right now for all Black, brown, indigenous femmes to come to the front. If you're not identifying in those genres of human, see yourselves somewhere else. Everybody over there, towards closer, that's closer to BPD. If you were Black and brown femme, come closer. Step up, step up. Over here on my left, if you behind me and you're a Black and brown femme and you want to come in the front, I see you seeing me. Okay, if you don't want to be I understand, but Okay, the next thing I want to do is do y'all need water? Do you need a mask? Do you need anything? Do we have people with water? Okay. Okay, does anyone need water? Can you raise your hand if you need water? All your needs met. Can we get some waters out here for these folks? Yeah, we're getting them. Raise your hand if you need water. Right now, you're in the front. You're a Black and brown indigenous femme person. Raise your hand if you need water. Higher. I'm gonna need you to raise it higher. I'm gonna need you to claim your needs. Thank you. Folks over here need water. I don't know if they had. You're good. Okay. It seems like everybody has their needs met. Yeah? Okay. Can I ask people over here on the right to come in a little closer if possible? Okay, thank you. Thank you for doing that movement with me. I'm going to ask Hiba, do you want to do this with me? Okay. So we're going to do an exercise right now that I learned on a silent retreat, a meditation retreat. And I'm going to explain a little bit what we're going to do at first, and you don't have to do it right away. And then I'm going to explain why I'm bringing it here into this space. So what's going to happen is, and some of y'all who have been at protests and might know my face to a certain degree, you might be familiar with what we're doing, but we're going to turn to somebody we don't know. So if you're here with the homies, find somebody else. So we're going to turn to somebody we don't know, right? You don't have to do it right now. And this always happens with us. We just want to kiki and talk and da-da-da-da-da, like, okay. So it's that we're going to do that, and we're going to do something that might be really uncomfortable, and we're going to look into each other's eyes for a while. I know, intimacy. And at that point, what might happen, and if you have something in your hands, you can put it down at that point. You don't have to do it right now, but eventually your hands, if you're able to, are going to find your chest, they're going to find your stomach, or they're going to go by your side, right? And the reason why we're doing this is because when we talk about violence, right? Like when we talk about violence in between race, when we talk about like gender violence, when we talk about like violence in between classes and things like that, there's always this element of like, I don't know you. Or what I do know about you is like this certain type of stereotype. It's like this preconceived notion of who I think you are and what you might do to me, what you might inflict on me, right? Some misinformation that I've known my entire life, right? And I'm going to project that on you. So what this exercise does is that you're going to feel those levels of uncomfortableness. Shout out bikes. Shout out the bikes. We love the bikes. We're going to feel that uncomfortableness in our bodies, like literally tangibly. Like I feel it in my chest right now. And what happens if we just, in between each other, right? Like in between BIPOC, what if we started with each other and we just were able to sit through that being uncomfortable? Can y'all behind me be quiet? I have like ADD things. My brain is like hard to deal with. Right? What if we were able to sit through that and just see someone's humanness and see how someone in front of you is just somebody's child, is just somebody's loved one, right? And then eventually that feeling in your body after breathing into it might go away. It might dissipate. And all of a sudden your mind and your eyes and your body are trained to see that person differently. You're slowly training yourself and your body to see that person differently. So I know that's a lot of words for just a like menial little activity, but that's how I do my inner work. So let's get started. So find a person you don't know. Kiki. Damn, y'all. All right. Y'all can gossip a different time. Come on. So I'm going to ask you to take one deep breath in, inhale, exhale. Let your hands find a place on your body if they're able to. And you can search around your body, see what feels good for you. Take one deep inhale again, and I want to hear your exhale. Keep your eyes open if possible. You might be feeling your heart race really fast. It might be really hard to look at the other person in the eyes. And you can move around looking at their face if you want. Maybe they just got their eyebrows done and they look really good. Damn, I knew that was gonna be bad. Okay, no jokes, no jokes, no jokes. Maybe they have freckles. Maybe they have some beautiful melanated skin. But more than anything, they're a person, a human, and somebody's child that is deserving of love. They're deserving of a love that is safe. They're deserving of being in their bodies, loving their bodies at all moments. And them, like you, are on a journey, are on a path towards figuring out what liberation might mean to them and to you. We're going to take one deep inhale. Exhale, I want to hear it. One more, I didn't hear it. You can let your hands fall by your side. You can wiggle them. You can look around however you'd like to show respect to this person. I like to do a small bow. Do that. All right. So now y'all can go and kiki, but I hope just a few words before we go ahead. Just a few words. I hope that, you know, my prayer and my intention for this is that y'all are able to proceed in your action and in your day, being in your bodies, and remembering that you have agency over that. That is ultimately the only thing you have agency over, and as much as that's a shitty realization to come to, it's the truth. The only system that you have 100% control over is yours. And so, may y'all go in love, may y'all go in peace, may y'all go together, may y'all hold each other in love like you would in family, and protect each other. Remember that we keep each other safe before anything else does. Thank you.
Make some noise for Billy, Paul.
Okay, pardon. There's been a remix to the plan. We have one more speaker. Everybody make some noise for Mateo, y'all. Not loud enough. Make some noise for Mateo, y'all. Mateo is out in any weather with us, so we want to let Mateo give some words to the people. Make some noise for Mateo, y'all.
You know what a relief it is after a hell of a week of never-ending police violence to be here in community with you and have us all here on the same fight. My name is Mateo Rojas. I'm a trans man. I'm an indigenous immigrant from Paraguay. And it breaks my heart that after coming here, I have my family in Paraguay messaging me saying, "Are you safe? We see what's going on." And I can't sugarcoat that to them. What I want to say here is that we all see one another's struggle. And Black Lives Matter, that's not a debate. Not a debate. I'll say it over and over again. I'm also Jewish, and in the Jewish faith, we have a common saying, and it's called, "Pray as if everything depended on God, but act as if everything depended on you." And this week we've been doing a lot of praying, but today we're doing a lot of acting, and there's no break from that. We cannot let a broken system tell us that we have a broken movement or that we are broken. We are whole. We are powerful, and that's why we're here. And this is our reality that we live every day as Black, brown, indigenous folks. So we need our allies, but like we said earlier, it's about solidarity. It's about showing up and doing the work, not your Instagram photos. Right? We hearing that? But I want to mention here, and I spoke this last week to trans beloveds last week at our last rally, and I think the same message applies here, that, I'm trying to think of the best way I can word this. I'll just be honest, right? You are not strong despite being Black or in spite of it, but because of it. You are beautiful because you are Black. You are beautiful because you're indigenous. And no system with any white men signing things that they have no idea what the hell they're talking about can take that away from you. Remember that. This is your movement. We'll walk together today and always. Thank you.
Make some noise for Mateo, y'all. Alright, so we're gonna get going. Just give us a second to put the sound real quick before you unplug. Real quick. Who volunteered to carry the banners? This one probably needs 2. This one needs 2. This one probably needs 4. This one needs 2. So just come up and just grab a banner. The order is gonna go again. The truck, Mateo, the banners, and then everybody else is gonna fall in, okay? Just give us a moment. Greet a friend. We are now one big blended family. Yes, if you...
Grab a banner, find Lori, okay?
Well, I'm not sure what happened during the live stream. It kind of cut halfway through, so I just got back on it and went live again, so I apologize, everybody. Looks like they're about to start marching onto the street here. We're going to get a nice view of all of them marching and document everything that happens. Thank you for tuning into. And whoever super chatted me last video, I didn't get to see who did it, but I appreciate you 100%. Thank you. And so let's get to it. Further ado.
Just take it back to the truck and you don't put it on the thing. And if you're not holding the banner, stay behind the truck.
They have police overwatching the area right now from the building. I'm just going to show you guys real quick. So, all right, thank you for tuning in to the Allen Report. We're out here in Boston, Massachusetts at Nubian Square. And I believe I could be wrong, but I believe multiple marches will be happening at the same time as this one. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on it. But we're here in Boston, Massachusetts. Stay tuned.
Okay, guys, we have another banner. More volunteers. It's big. Okay.
Doing that, so I gave my brother with it, and I just the entire way.
There he is.
He's on the other side.
up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Black lives under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Say, what do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Say, what do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Say, what do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. If Daunte don't get it, shut it down. If Daunte don't get it, shut it down. If Terrence don't get it, shut it down. If Moses don't get it, shut it down. If George don't get it, shut it down. If Brianna don't get it, shut it down. If Daunte don't get it, shut it down. If Daunte don't get it, shut it down. I said if Daunte don't get it, shut it down. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Say what do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Say what do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now.
I want justice now!
Yes, sir.
I want justice now!
When black lives are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? When black lives are under attack, what do we do? When black women are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? When black men are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? If black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! What do we do? Stand up, fight back! What do we do? Stand up, fight back! Whose streets? Our streets! 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 Whose city? Our city! Whose city? Our city! Whose city?
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check! Y'all wanna go? No? When black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back!
Sorry.
What do we do?
Get your artwork, okay?
We're gonna get to the front and give you guys the whole view of them walking forward. They're about to take to the streets here in Boston, Massachusetts. Stay tuned.
Hello? Hello? Hi, everyone. Alright, so we're about to start. So again, when we go, it's the banners, the truck, Mateo, the process. Please do not walk. What's up, buddy? Please do not walk in front of Mateo or the truck. Okay, so we're gonna get started.
Sorry.
Rachel, you need to make a line here. No open space.
I'm sorry, buddy. So you have close to about maybe 200, 300 people marching right now onto the streets of Malcolm X Boulevard, I believe. Yes. So we're going to march with them. We're going to be in front documenting it as a whole. You'll see right now all the people, lots of people. This is one of the bigger protests here in Boston. We are in the middle of the street. The bus is right there. So we just left Nubian Square in Boston, Massachusetts, walking, I believe, north on Malcolm X Boulevard. I don't know where the route is or whatever, but we're going to follow the whole way and document. Roughly 300 people, probably, maybe. It's hard to tell. Lots of people out here. We're going to follow all the way through. Stay tuned. Hit that like button. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Ah! Yeah, what's up, boss man? Yeah, the Allen Report.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
All right. Hey, yeah. My name's Michael. I follow you on YouTube now.
Oh, awesome, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey,
Yeah.
no, all the live streamers, I wanted to talk to you guys because, like, I don't want people ever.
I'm live right now. Do you mind? Or?
No.
Okay.
I just don't, I know you have freedom of movement, your liberty. I don't want anyone
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I'm
dude,
real big on making sure that journalists,
Absolutely.
regardless
Yeah.
of where you may stand, have the
Absolutely.
ability to move.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Busier intersection coming up ahead here. I don't see any of a police presence whatsoever. They just seem to be marching through the street. So let's take a look. For those who are just tuning in, there's probably about roughly 300 people, maybe a little more, give or take a few numbers. We left Nubian Square Park in Boston, Massachusetts, for all you tuning in. We're currently marching through the street here, and I don't know where we're going, but we're here to document. Let's get to it. Shout outs to the Rundown Live.
You're going against the wind.
What is your
Thank you all for tuning in for the Allen Report. We're here live in Boston, Massachusetts. We just left, well, maybe not just left, but we left Nubian Square in Boston, Massachusetts, right next to one of the police neighborhood stations. I'm not too familiar with that area, but we are currently marching through the streets of Boston, and so we're documenting it here live for you from the comfort of your home. Stay tuned. There is tons of people. I'm going to show you right now. I would guess 300 or more, give or take. I thought that was real chic for a second.
Take back the streets above the police. No justice. police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. No peace, take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Say what? Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. No peace, take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police. Every time I want to be in murder, she told me how to fight. We gon' fight all day and night until we get it right. Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? We don't need a fence. Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? Anytime there was a freedom fighter, she taught me how to fight. We gon' fight all day and night until we get it right. Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? We gon' fight all day and night until we get it right. Which side are you on, my people? Which side are you on? We on the freedom side. Are you on, my people? Which side are you on?
Hey, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Mind me asking me who you live streaming? Oh, didn't you just?
Yeah.
Alan report. Is it Alan?
So, that's all right. It's been a long day, buddy.
No, for what it's worth, I'm actually trying to look. There's another kid who comes out, Mass Accountability. You know him?
Mass Accountability.
He's like the auditing type stuff.
He sounds familiar. Yeah.
Like, check his work.
Do you know Accountability for All?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that has to do with auditing.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Trust
Hell
me.
yeah.
Anything that has to do with that, I'm on it. And if you ever do have a thing, make sure you come to find me, okay?
All right, man.
If you ever have an issue or something like that, just come and find me. We'll try to.
Absolutely.
Unless you've done something egregious.
Oh no. All I do, man, is I try
I know
to.
you do.
I just try to.
know what you do.
Yeah.
Bro. No, you don't need to worry about it.
I know.
I'll follow you.
Appreciate you,
Yeah,
man.
no, you're one of the objective kids out here. Just
Yeah,
do your thing.
exactly.
I get it.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I know. We need people like you.
Yeah,
The world needs people like you.
feel you. I appreciate you, man.
That objective. No, I appreciate you. Even if we don't agree on everything, I appreciate you.
Absolutely, man.
Last time I checked, you're not a multi-millionaire robbing me of 35% of my money every year. Right?
No, I'm not.
So I'm not, yeah.
If I was a multi-millionaire,
I don't think you would be my concern.
I'd have a lot more than this just
Yeah, right,
iPhone.
I think our roles might be a little different.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No KKK, no USA at all. No KKK, no USA at all. USA at all. No cops. No USA at all. No cops. No USA at all. No cops. No KKK. 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 No USA at all. No cops. No USA at all. No cops. No USA at all. No cops. No KKK. No USA.
Now I'm about to show you a ton of people, all for all you tuning in. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, bro. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
No KKK, no USA at all.
So I'm going to show you all these people. Probably, for all you tuning in, it's probably like 300 people, give or take. Maybe a few more now. Maybe close to 400. It's really hard to say. There's tons of people out here. So let me show you.
Out of your home and into the streets. Out of your home and into the streets. Out of your home and into the streets.
Let me get in a better position to show you guys. Hold on.
Out of your home and into the streets. 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 Out of your home and into the streets.
So many people, my phone cannot even capture it all. And for Boston, Massachusetts, this is big. They don't normally have this many people marching through the city. I've only seen it a couple of times, a handful of times. But yeah, this is pretty big. We surprisingly ran into a Bucket Boy News 401. That was pretty shocking. And anyone who wants to come out and document and what have you, I'm all for it. So let's get back to it.
You can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. Can't stop the revolution. You 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 can't stop the revolution. Back up, freedom, freedom. All these resistance comes, we don't need them, need them. Back up, freedom, freedom. All these resistance comes, we don't need them, need them. Back up, all these resistance comes, we don't need them. Back up, all these resistance comes. 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 We don't need them, need them. Back up, we don't need them, need them. All these resistance comes. We don't need them, need them. Back up, all these resistance comes. 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 Back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these resistance comes. We don't need them, need them. Back up, all these resistance comes. 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 Back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these resistance comes, we don't need them, need them. Back up, we want freedom. Out of your homes and into the streets. 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 Out of your homes
tons of people here in Boston, everybody.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Hundreds of people, probably 300 to 400, maybe even more at this point.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
All right, let's get back to it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Fire, fire, gentrifier, fire, people, you still live here. Fire, fire, gentrifier, fire, people, you still live here. Fire, fire, gentrifier, fire, fire, gentrifier. Repeat after me. Fire, fire, gentrifier. 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 Black people, you still live here. 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 Fire, fire, gentrifier. 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 Black people, you still live here. 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 Fire, fire, gentrifier. 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 Black people, you still live here. 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 Fire, fire, gentrifier. Fire, fire, gentrifier. Fire, fire, gentrifier. Fire, fire, gentrifier.
That's not gonna work.
Black people, you still live here. 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 Black people, gentrifier. Fire, fire, 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 gentrifier. Black people, you still live here. Black people, you still live here. Black people, you still live here. Fire, gentrifier. Fire, fire, gentrifier. Fire, fire, gentrifier. Fire, fire, gentrifier. Black people, you still live here. Black people, you still live here. Black people, you still live here. Fire, fire, gentrifier. 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 gentrifier. Black people, you still live here. 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 Fire, fire, gentrifier. Fire, fire, gentrifier. Fire, fire, gentrifier. Fire, fire, gentrifier. Black people, you still live here. 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 Fire, fire, gentrifier. Fire, fire, gentrifier. Fire, fire, gentrifier. Fire, fire, gentrifier. Our streets. Our streets. Whose streets? 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 Whose streets?
Oh, sorry, buddy.
White silence
White silence White silence
Is violence.
White silence
Is violence.
White silence
Is violence.
White silence
Is violence.
When you say black, when I say black lives, you say matter. Black lives
Matter.
Black lives
Matter.
Black lives matter. Black lives
Matter.
Black lives
Matter.
We say black lives, you say matter. Black lives
Matter.
Black lives We say black lives, you say matter. Black lives
Matter.
Black lives
Matter.
We say black lives, you say matter. Black lives
Matter.
Black lives
Matter.
We say black lives, you say matter. Black lives
For all you tuning in, this is a march for Daunte Wright. And we left here in Boston, Massachusetts at Nubian Square. For those who are just tuning in, we're marching through the streets of Boston. Stay tuned. Roughly about definitely 300 people by now. There could even be more people. So yeah, this is a really big event for Boston. Stay tuned.
Each other. We have nothing to lose but our change. We have nothing to lose but our change. It is our duty to fight for freedom. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our change. We have nothing to lose but our change. It is our duty to fight for freedom. It is our duty to fight for freedom. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our change. We have nothing to lose but
each other and support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
It is our duty to fight for freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love each other and support each other.
We must love each other and support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
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 It is our duty
Thank you.
to fight for freedom.
That's happened to me all day.
It is our duty to win.
Mike check. Do we have any volunteers that their arms are not tired that they can come to the front and relieve the people holding banners? Please. If you can relieve them, please go to the front and replace somebody, please. You're welcome, of course.
I haven't seen a police presence at all. However, in the back of the protest, there what looks to be a police cruiser. Just given that information out there, I haven't seen any police presence at all since Nubian Square or anything, other than the fencing around the police station itself. So let's get to it.
Do you only know? No justice, no peace. Take back the streets, fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take back the streets, fuck the police.
No justice. Take back the streets and no justice. Take back the streets and no justice.
Take back the streets and fuck the police. No justice. No peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police. No justice. No peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police. No justice. No peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police. No justice. No peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police. No justice. No peace. Take back the streets and fuck the police. No justice. Take back the streets and fuck the police. No justice. Take back the streets and fuck the police. No justice. Take back the streets and fuck the police. No justice. Take back the streets and fuck the police. No justice. Take back the streets and fuck the police. No justice. Take back the streets and fuck the police. No justice. Take back the streets and 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 fuck the police. No justice. Take back the streets and fuck the police. No justice. Take back the streets and
I can't hear it all. Sorry, man. That's like the third time that's happened. The third time, bro. Yeah, man, these trees, man. I keep walking into things, guys. That's what happens. One of the biggest turnouts I've ever seen out here in Boston, Massachusetts. a march for Daunte Wright, recently killed by police, and alongside others marching through the streets of Boston. We're here to document. Stay tuned. Let's get back to it. Looks like we have a police presence in front of us now. They're definitely behind us, but looks like they might be blocking the road up here. Let's go check it out. Share this live stream. Thank you for tuning in to the Allen Report.
Two. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1.
Josh, look.
2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. 2. A little bit louder. 3. We want justice for our people. 1. We are the people. Marching. Yes, sir. Thanks for calling. Very loud. Marching. Marching. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Hey, black people only! If you can, make some noise! Say it loud! I'm black and I'm proud! 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 I'm black and I'm proud! I'm black and I'm proud! Say it loud! 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 I'm black and I'm proud!
Check is going to keep going straight. Everybody else is going to follow the marshals into the comments, into the bandstand where we're going to continue with the rally. So everybody make some noise. Say his name. Don't say a word. Say his name. 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 And then when we get here, we're going to walk straight into the comments. Don't follow the truck. Follow the marshal straight into the comments.
Repeat after me, the people united will never be divided. The people united will never be defeated. 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 The people united will never be defeated.
Sorry, buddy.
United!
Thank you for tuning in to the Allen Report. Those who are just tuning in, we started here in Boston, Massachusetts at Nubian Square, marched all throughout the city to roughly, I think, the Boston Commons, I believe we're at. I don't know, don't quote me on it. I think we're at the Boston Commons, and it looks like we are. So it looks like they're going to continue their speeches, and I'm not sure if they're going to continue to march in the Boston Common or what have you, but stick around, let's document this to the end. And for all you tuning in, there's roughly 300, 400, possibly even 500 people now. There's a lot of people here marching through the street in Boston, Massachusetts. So, yeah, big numbers today, big numbers, which is pretty amazing for Boston. Normally you don't have this many numbers out here, so.
peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! No justice! No peace! No peace! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police!
Say his name! Daunte Wright! Say his name! Daunte Wright! Say his name! Daunte Wright!
You know how it goes.
How's everybody feel? I don't believe you. How does everybody feel? There we go. So we have a few more speakers. Give us a few moments to get ourselves together. We're still running from the truck. Now is an additional time you guys can mix and mingle with one big blended family, talk to each other, figure out where they came from, and what y'all gonna do next. Sounds good? All right, give us a few moments. Thank you. Make some noise for yourselves.
All right, everyone. I don't know if you ever tried walking backwards for a very long time, but it is exhausting. But I'm just here I'm hydrating right now. Looks like they're gonna have some more speakers. We're gonna stay tuned for that, see what they have to say, and document everything. It's unclear if after these people who are gonna be speaking, if it's gonna continue or if this is the end of it. I'm not sure, but stay tuned. I appreciate everyone tuning in right now. Also appreciate all the super chats. And so in a couple of minutes, they'll begin speaking. I'm going to remain live here, and we'll go from there. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, put them in, and I'll get to you respectfully later on. Thank you.
Okay, so if you're speaking at the second part of the rally, can you please come up here so we can check in? All the speakers should be here, like Hiba, Yari, Kayla, come on, y'all, my brain is fried right now. Who else is supposed to speak? I called already. Who else? Deani? You wasn't even gonna say nothing. You was testing my brain, wasn't you? Deani? Okay, don't go far, Deani. And I think that's it. Okay. Okay, give me 2 minutes, please. Make some noise for yourself. Thank you so much. Big shout out to YDSA, PSL, Boston Socialist Alternative, Refuse Fascism, Sunrise Movement. I don't want to miss anybody. I'm just looking. Huh? Oh yeah, Moving with Front Against Fascism. That's another collaborative effort to weed out the racists. Anybody else? That's it. Okay. Workers Party of Boston? Robin? Shout outs to Robin. Robin, where are you? Robin, are you still here? Make some noise for Robin, y'all. I need everybody to bring their attention up front. We've got some powerful speakers coming up. First, we're gonna bring up Yari from Black Boston. Make some noise for Yari, y'all. Not loud enough. Make some noise for Yari, y'all. A little bit louder. Make some noise for Yari, y'all.
Can you guys hear me? Something that I wrote because I think it's relevant to now. Seeing as how I wrote this a year ago and we're still standing in the same place. So, first of all, I want to start with the greeting and want to thank our courageous and resilient comrades for coming together to organize such a powerful event. Bringing together a lot of people from like so many varying walks of life. Like if you guys look around, take a second and look around you. That's what power looks like. The coming together of so many different groups of people, that's what power looks like. So I want to start with why we're here. If you guys have noticed, we've been fighting for the last year, and we're still in the same position. Anytime we've noticed that there is a movement that works to enhance black mobility in a way that threatens white supremacy and capitalism, if not suppressed quietly, it's usually met with violent sanctions by the state, our very government, that people still seem to have an undying loyalty to. Those are the people that murdered Daunte Wright. Those are the people that murdered George Floyd. Those are the people that continue to put away black bodies like nothing but target practice, and that is why we are still here. That is because, though, of the way that this country operates. Capitalism cannot work without racism because racism is the foundation that keeps the 1%. That is why we didn't learn about black liberation in high school. Right? Like if you think about it, that's why we didn't learn about black revolutionaries in high school. That's why they glazed over slavery in our history textbook. That is why pretty much anything that supported movements that were deemed radical and listed as the biggest threats to the United States, especially if they threatened the pigs and the state and the security, always the biggest threats. Some things that come to mind as me, for examples, are the Black Panther Party. If you've heard about the Black Panther Party, put your hand up. If you've heard about the bombing of Black Wall Street, put your hand up. If you've heard about the assassination of Fred Hampton, Malcolm X, MLK, etc., put your hand up. So that means y'all have no excuse, because y'all know. We live in a country where if you are black, you can be sleeping in your home and not know that a couple of hours later, there will be 8 bullets from pigs that would soon break into your house for no legitimate reason and murder you. Where if you are black, you can be shot dead for buying a bag of Skittles and having a can of Arizona. Where if you are black, as a mother, you are forced to watch as that same man, your son's murderer, walk the streets unarmed, unscathed, no indictment, no repercussions. I'm talking about Jacob Blake. I'm talking about Jacob Blake's murderer, who got to walk free this week. And then years later, is able to auction off the murder weapon that was used to end your child's life with no repercussions. I'm talking about Trayvon Martin's killer. That is the type of country that we live in, where 5 black people can be hanged all in the same week, and they all be ruled suicide, and they also happen to occur in the wake of George Floyd's death, where black people's lives and suffering are quite literally reduced to nothing, to screams in the void, because that is what the pigs and the state see us as, and anyone who aligns with us see us as nothing. So all of you that are out here right now, that are not black, they see you as nothing. So you have just as much of a reason to fight. You have just as much of a responsibility to fight. But I want to talk about the system that normalized the killing of black bodies by the state. I had a story of a youth who messaged me once last summer on Instagram when I was organizing a counter Blue Lives protest in West Roxbury. He said, my dad is a cop, but he's a good person. Like, he's a good person. He donates to charities. He does fundraisers. He's a good person. And I said it to him. I said, you said it yourself. Your dad can be a good person. He can be a good person, but there's no such fucking thing as a good fucking cop. There will be never, ever, ever be a good cop. Not in this system. Not in this system. No good cops in a racist system. No good cops in a racist system. So why are there no good pigs? Because I don't call them cops, I call them pigs. Why are there no good pigs? Because no matter how good a person is or may seem, when they put that uniform on, they are choosing to unify themselves with an institution that systematically murders innocent black people for sport. That normalizes putting bullets through the bodies of black people off of instinctual biases. That is complicit in the erasure of hundreds of thousands of millions of innocent black civilians. That traffics and rapes children. I'm talking about the ex-Boston former president union head, Patrick Rose, that went and got charged for raping and molesting children. That is BPD. That is right here in our city. Pay attention. Pay attention. Don't ignore it. We're talking about pigs that harass teenagers in their own communities, that are allowed to rape anyone under their custody simply because they can. Simply because there is no one to stop them. What pig is going to stop a pig? What pig is going to stop a pig? The foundation of policing, as we all know, derived from slave catching. So the institution of policing in itself is inherently racist and inherently corrupt. So again, I let the young man know that I cannot separate your dad's positioning as a cop for who he is to you, because no matter what, he gets to choose to be a cop. He gets to choose violence. He gets to choose murder. I don't get to choose to be black. I don't get to choose to be black. I don't get to take my skin off and decide when I'm done being black. It's a forever thing that I will always live with. Black and proud, I'll tell you that. But not everyone sees it that way. So I explained to him, he gets to choose every day to be a part of a system that he knows has a history of murdering and brutalizing black people specifically and marginalized people in general. Every day he puts on that uniform, he decides who he will be. And regardless of who he is to you, you cannot expect black people to be perceptive to individuals that align themselves with a system that allows them to murder, brutalize, and in turn jail their people. Because for me, like I said, I don't get to choose whether I get to live or die by the gun of someone like his father. Black people don't get to choose whether they live or die when they are confronted by a pig. They either get lucky or they die. They either get lucky or they die. They don't get that choice the way his father did. And that is exactly what I mean when I say by any means necessary. So when people say not all cops are bad, I think of Philando's daughter, who had to feel the blood of her father's body splattered on her 4-year-old carcass as pig Geronimo Yanez screamed into his ear. I think about Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, who will have to live with the trauma of knowing that she died right in front of him and they put him in jail first. And her killers never, ever got charged. I want you all to think of what that would feel like, to lose someone that you know and nothing is done simply because you don't matter. Because you don't matter. I think of George Floyd's daughter. Every time she looks up her father's names, yes, she will know that his face ignited a movement, but she will see that video, that 9-minute video that we all were forced to watch. She will see that. The video of her father's windpipe being crushed under the weight of white pig named Derek Chauvin. She will see as her father's last breath was ripped away from his body as he suffocated under the knee of a police officer. And I apologize for the gruesome picture, but it is important that we understand the depths of what debt does to a human being. Debt sanctioned by the state nonetheless, the same government that is sworn to protect its citizens. And now, I had to add Daunte Wright's daughter to that list because she too will suffer the same fate that George Floyd's daughter will, that Breonna Taylor's boyfriend will, of being forced to watch murderers murder, and nothing happened. Black people have been and are killed by local law enforcement so often that our deaths have become skippable because of the way they've become almost synonymous with American culture. The state-sanctioned murder of black and brown bodies has been occurring since the first black people were ripped off the very shores of Africa. So when you see people looting a Hermes or vandalizing a Louis, that is not recently manifested anger. That is not new. That is anger that runs within our roots, within our bloods, within our ancestors. That is anger that is generational. So that anger of seeing the same continuation of black oppression over and over and over and over again, it's real. And it does not matter if it was under Obama or Trump or Nixon or Clinton, because it's all cyclical, because that is how the system was made, to work against us. So I want y'all to remember, it doesn't matter who's at the head of the table if the table has a broken foundation. So I want to end again with why we are here. With why we are here. That is why we are here. Because we are the ones that must now take on the duty. We are the ones that will push forth this revolution and dismantle the racist, capitalist, imperialist system that allows black lives to be reduced to target practices with pigs with an ego problem. And that is why, if y'all look around, it's not just black people in this crowd no more, right? Look around you real quick, one more time. Take a look around you. This is why the old racist white people hate us, because a lot of us in the revolution, y'all look like them, okay? This fight is not one colored anymore. We got color codes of all area codes. And that is what power looks like. And they hate that shit. This unification for black liberation and liberation for all oppressed people scares them because they know that they quite literally cannot erase all of us, right? They can't kill all of us. And we are not a generation that lets the fuck up. We are the generation that we will rewrite the scripts of history. And I am confident about this because look at us here today. There's something moving about seeing so much youth also power the movement, power these protests. It's invigorating to say the least. And that speaks highly to our generation's courage. That speaks highly to our generation's courage. Every time we come to a protest, we are risking our lives. And sometimes I think we forget that. In these last few months, despite the peaceful protests, we have lost comrades. And again, we are just at the beginning of this revolution. So I know y'all are tired, but keep fucking fighting. We have lost comrades that have been both black and white. They lost their lives fighting for this movement. They lay to rest alongside George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Tony McDade, Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, Emmett Till, Daunte Wright, Moses Harris, Terrence Coleman, and so many fucking more. So when we come out here, we remind ourselves what we are risking and what and who we are risking our lives for. Because now we are also marching for them, and our work does not end here. Our work does not end here. It is not only about going to protest. It is about doing the work both on and offline. It is about committing yourself to this movement with every core of your being, because a lot of us here are fighting for survival. If you are not fighting for survival, fight like you are. Fight like you are. Use your privilege and fight like hell for those who can't, for those that have been lost. It is about dedicating the rest of your life to battling white supremacy and embodying anti-racism. To reading, to learning, to then educating, and to intentionally then fighting. To be a warrior in this movement and ally for this cause is to do everything within your power to dismantle capitalism and white supremacy, because the two are indeed synonymous. Because capitalism cannot survive without racism, and racism does not exist. It does not exist without the confines of capitalism. So we must dedicate ourselves to eradicating these systems and building a new foundation. One that is built in abolition, one that is built in liberation, and one that is ultimately built in love. In hopes that the generations that come after us are not forced to fight still, are not forced to suffer the same fate that we have had to, that generations before us have had to. So it is on us now, comrades, to do the necessary work. Because until all of us are free, none of us are free. Because Black liberation results in the liberation of all oppressed people, poor people, women, indigenous folk, the LGBTQIA community, the disabled community. Can I go on to the BIPOC community? So I'll end here. And I want y'all to repeat after me. Liberation. 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 By any means necessary. 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 Thank you, comrades.
Make some noise for Yori. Alright, up next, I'm gonna bring Diani from Boston Mayday Coalition. Make some noise for Diani, y'all. Not loud enough, make some noise for Diani, y'all.
How's everybody doing out there? Wasn't that a fun march? All I want to say is, this morning started off with, sorry. Moses Harris's funeral was this morning. He didn't survive the police. Daunte did not survive the police. I know that there are people in this audience right now, Black and brown people, who have survived the police. Now, what does that mean? We all come out because another Black man died. But all of my allies, or like to say now, co-conspirators, you know what's going on. You're out here because a Black man is dead, but you do have friends around you who have survived. I am one of them. Okay? Not just one time, many times. By doing nothing. A few years ago, I was in Oklahoma City. And I decided to leave my friend's house at 6 o'clock in the evening, and it was dark. It was dark, and 2 cop cars pulled over in a matter of seconds. I was just walking down the street. They pulled me over. I'm from Connecticut, all right? First it was my first time, being in that, the part of the country, but it doesn't matter where you are, right? So they pulled me over. You know what they asked me? What? Why was I there? Why are you walking? And if some of you guys know me, I love my fashion. I had on designer clothes, okay? Okay, girl. You know what I mean? I have my designer shit on. They're pulling me over. I'm looking fabulous. Of course. You know what I mean? Looking fabulous, and these motherfuckers had the audacity to ask me for my ID. And of course I complied because there's 2 officers. Guns on their hip. Okay? So they made me sit on the grass in my designer motherfucking clothes. Do you understand the humiliation? The stripping of your dignity? This conversation about lives that have people have lost their lives at the hands of police. Understand, people, my white people, my co-conspirators in the audience, is that it's more than just a dead man or a dead woman. It's the stripping of dignity.
That's right.
This is very serious, guys. You know, oh, and by the way, on that night, when they let me go, I went to where I had to get to, and I was distraught. Guess what happened? What? When I walked back, 2 more cop cars pulled me over. Didn't believe that I was staying at my friend's place, had me get in the cop car. I'm sitting, yes, this Oklahoma City. I think about that shit every day. Okay? I'm mad. I'm sad. I want to see all of you out. Not just when a person dies. This is every day. So this is your duty. I know some of you have been missing over the winter, but guess what? It's spring now. And like someone said before, earlier, about making sure you have family members, because if you know, then that means you're a co-conspirator with us, because we know how things work. So now it's your duty to make sure they conspire with you. I just want to end with a chant, because I can keep on going on and on. Actually, you know what? I know some of you have on Facebook someone, I don't know who the author of this poem, but I'm just gonna read this, and that'll be the end of that. I need to run some errands to ensure I arrive alive. I won't take public transit. Oscar Grant. I remove all air fresheners from the vehicle and double check my registration status. Daunte Wright. And ensured my license plates were visible. Lieutenant Karen Nazario. I will be careful to follow all traffic rules. Philando Castile. Signal every turn. Sandra Bland. Keep the radio volume low. Jordan Davis. And won't stop at a fast food chain for a meal. Rayshard Brooks. I am too afraid to pray. Reverend Clementa Pickney. So I just hope the call won't break down. Corey Jones. When you run errands today, be sure not to dance. Elijah McClain. And you know what else? Be sure not to dance. Shibby. That's another thing. He's out here. They already know. Oh my God. Free Shibby. All right. Excuse me. Lord, I forgot. Okay. And be sure not to dance. Elijah McClain. Stop to play in the park. Tamir Rice. Patronize the local convenience store for snacks. Mike Brown. Open once home. Don't stand in your backyard. Stephen Clark. Eat ice cream on your couch. Botham Jean. Or play any video games. Tatiana Jefferson. I guess I'll watch a movie around 7:30 p.m. I won't leave the house to go to Walmart. John Crawford. Or go to the gym. Tyshawn Oaks. Or on the jog. Omar Arbery. I will just sit and remember what a blessing it is to breathe. George Floyd, and I definitely won't go to sleep. Breonna Taylor. This is what we have to deal with. Anyway, let's just do a chant. Black Lives Matter. 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 Thank you.
Make some noise for Deanna, y'all. Come on, she got up here and was real vulnerable. Make some noise for Deanna, y'all. Alright, we're gonna continue this going. We're gonna bring up Our from Solidarity North Shore. Make some noise for Our, y'all. That's not good enough. Make some more noise for Our, y'all. That's still not good enough. Make some noise for Our, y'all.
Alright, y'all. How are we feeling? Tonight, I can't help but think the state only mobilizes around dead black people. Black people must be deprived of life to be worthy of our lives being fought for. Is that not cruel? For the black existence only to exist in the frameworks of death. Revolution to some of you only exists in response to death. That is the largest difference between me and you. Every day I am seeking revolution. Every way I engage with every person I interact with in my entire life, I am seeking revolution. Revolution birthed out of the want for security, safety, and protection. Tonight, you want to hear me fight. But every day I fight. Every day I am in defense mode. Defense of my existence, not only of blackness under state prosecution, but of the way whiteness expands into my daily interactions in work, at school, at home, and more. Whiteness will swallow everything whole, and it will leave you empty. But today and every day I resist that. See, tonight I am tired. See, I am in revolution every time I breathe, but tonight I am sad. In this space tonight, or at least for part of it, I ask us to heal, to love, to take care, to move with intention. I ask us to interrogate whiteness, both in white people and non-black people of color. I want to give space to ask, who tells our stories? By that, for black people, I mean, who do we let into our spaces? Who do we give mics to? Who do we let have proximity to us? In the streets, in organizing spaces, and in social media, who consumes black struggle and communicates it to the masses? And do we have any control over that? In the greater Boston area, we have to be honest with ourselves. It is white and non-black people. Not until recently have these people shown up again. I'm sure you haven't been out here during the winter. I'm sure you haven't been out here in months. People have died in our state since winter, and none of you have been out here since months. Do you understand that? So tonight, I have to remind y'all, you are guests in our spaces. You are guests in our revolution. Fuck allies and fuck co-conspirators and fuck accomplices. Fuck this idea that you can support us if you cannot feel the weight of an anti-black system, if you cannot feel it in your voice, in your direct experience from moment to moment, in your name, in your ancestors. You could only ever be a guest in our liberation. I repeat, if you are non-black or white, you are a guest in my liberation. You are a guest to black liberation. Our black spaces have built comfort for non-black people to build community in, but community means nothing without the guaranteed safety and protection of black comrades. You have used our struggles and built yourselves homes of people, homes of connections, homes of safety and protection. All the meanwhile, black people have been left out to die. We are still dying in your hospitals. We are dying in your cars. We are dying in your schools. We are dying in your streets. We are dying in our homes. We are dying and dying and dying. And so listen to me closely. No one's liberation can bring about my liberation except black people's liberation. I will say that again. No one's liberation can bring about my liberation except black people's liberation. You cannot steal our revolutionary words and take it for your consumption. My liberation is your liberation. Only applies to the black people in this space. Fuck the rest of y'all. Today, my voice will not list out the names of people lost by the state violence of our country, of our state, or of our cities. I will not steal and commodify their names to appeal to the white and non-black audiences in the space that want so deeply access to my grief, access to black grief. I do not have the space or the education on the life, history, ancestry of the names of those lost, and I will not steal it. And if I were to, you would. You will steal their life and associate their name only to death. And I believe every name spoken deserves its own space in which the life of that person is unwrapped, in which you cannot steal from them. Because even in death,
you steal from us. Because even in death, those names are unprotected and unsafe. You take all the words of black people, all our language to communicate our liberation, and you take it from us. You steal it, you deny us things we have created. White and non-black people, you do not have access to take from black people as you please. You cannot take our words. We may all feel the burden and weight of capitalism and white supremacy, but we do not all have anti-black systems against us, upheld by both white and non-black people. Black people in every continent grieve. Black people in every country grieve. Black people in every city grieve. In every language, in every expression, in every location we exist, we grieve. We grieve the violence of white and non-black people. We are in constant defense of our lives, our existence, and our right to life in ways non-black people and white people will never understand the depth of. This leads me to my next points of interrogation. Who manipulates the narrative? Who do we listen to? Who do you let lead? Who do you let weave our story of our struggle? Who fabricates our reality? See, tonight I am thinking of what has built the black fight. With our protests, chants, shoes on the pavement, and speeches. And so we grieve and so we love, but when the fuck do we fight? The fight for justice is endless. It is not bound to today. It is not bound to the death of these people. It is every day. It is a lifetime. In the United States and across the world, it is bound to the existence of blackness and indigenous people, to living and enduring the structures of white supremacy at its lowest rungs. Justice does not exist to absolve the perpetrators of violence. It exists to mend and heal the generational wounds of the victims. It is about anchoring peace and making amendments. Tonight is about honoring life in the best way we can. It is about thinking of all those lost from police brutality across the United States, including Massachusetts. It is honoring life in the West in the best way blackness knows how to. It is fighting. The United States violence is endless. It cannot end until this nation and the global exploitation it runs on ends. It cannot end until we resist all the lies that whiteness has created us to see us fall. See, this fight is all about resistance. Resistance from the violent narrative this country reads, from the erasure of indigenous people and land we stand on, whose simple existence in history delegitimizes the settler colonial state. Resistance from the labor and exploitation of black people globally that began with the enslavement of Africans 400 years ago and continues worldwide to this day. Resistance from the prosecution of non-Christian religions and belief systems, from the attacks on the Asian community who have been used as scapegoats for the United States, for this country to hide from being held accountable for the thousands of deaths, millions ill, and piling evictions, all to build an overarching resistance against capitalism that has manipulated race, class, and religion to unleash harms for centuries. Resistance is a struggle of fighting against the millions of weapons that whiteness has had to create over and over again. Black people know this resistance too well. It is in our blood, it is in our history, it is in our birthright, it is in our rights. Fighting is never something we will be absolved of because simply our features, our hair, and our skin will always remind us that we must oppose all that goes against us to move forward. Our existence is opposition against the United States and against the entire global north. Our lives, our bodies are tied to being a collective and to collectively fight against all this country's violence serves. The violence that keeps this false nation protected. For the United States to fall institutionally, we must abolish its policing of our bodies, of our lives under the guise of violence it uses to keep us controlled, to keep us straight from liberation and from unification and from the peace of the collective. Humanity's strongest ties are not to false nations of violence. They are to the land we inhabit. They are to the earth and the life it keeps protected in its spheres. We are not invested in our oppression. We are only held back by it. It's why they police blackness, and all for what? Fear. 400 years of historical evidence of fear for black people and our liberation. They police us the hardest because every time we bloom and resist, we manage to tear parts of it apart. Piece by piece, this entire facade will be shred by our hands. They fear liberation because ever since the ideas of continent, nations, and collective identities were imposed on African people, we arose to resist. It's why they are so insistent on breaking us apart. It's why they continue to draw borders in our land and our identity, ensuring that black people internationally will never feel security, safety, and protection as long as white supremacy and capitalism remains in power. It is why we never stop fighting. Even when most of you stop, we cannot. We organize for survival. It is why we must build to make an effort to make community, mutual aid that keeps people fed, our people housed, and our people financially stable within the infrastructure of this country. Organizing that keeps us visible in courtrooms, classrooms, and in the street. Organizing that keeps us in houses with stomachs full of food, safe and protected. White people and non-black people, as guests in our revolution, what are you doing for us? What can you do to keep community protected and safe? When they try to keep us poor, we organize. When they try to keep us houseless, we organize. When they deny food and water, we organize. When they threaten existence and living, we organize. Because I believe that when we organize, we can, fuck that we will, make this entire country obsolete.
Make some noise for all y'all. Alright, up next, I'm gonna bring up Solon, who's gonna shed more light on the Moses Harris situation. Come on, Albert. Make some noise for Solon, y'all. A little bit louder, make some noise for Solon, y'all.
Hi. So, as some of you may know, a bunch of us came here directly from a funeral service in Lowell for... My voice is shot. Okay. So as some of you may know, a bunch of us came directly from a funeral service in Lowell for a 25-year-old man named Moses Harris who was killed by Lowell PD on December 19th. I don't want to go too much into the case and instead just really celebrate his life because that's what he deserved most. But what I will say is Lowell PD have lied to his family and to the media and to us. They have threatened to arrest all of us protesting. They have threatened his family. They are really just trying to scare them as much as fucking possible, and it is ridiculous, and we need to do something to protect people because these people live here, they belong here, and they will always fucking be here. So if you want to help support Moses and his family right now, we do have protests every Saturday in Lowell. There are flyers, I know they're about on FFC's Instagram, a bunch of organizations, but it's at 850 Lawrence Street, starting at 12 o'clock. Show up, we need bodies, we need people. You say you stand for Black lives, this shit doesn't just happen in other states, it happens right fucking here. Over and over and over again. But we like to pretend it doesn't. I was out all winter and I saw y'all disappear. I saw protests get smaller. I saw mutual aid go down. Come on, we can't only fight for Black lives when it's warm out. We have to be there all the fucking time. Thank you.
Make some noise for Solon, y'all. Hold on. Make some noise for Solon, y'all. Like Solon was saying, we got mutual aid every Friday over by Melnia Cass and Mass Ave. Actually, my man right here, Domingos, right here, raise your hand, bro. He's also really about making the neighborhood better, both through mutual aid and holding motherfuckers accountable. We're no longer doing one, we're doing both. So make some noise for the community, y'all. Alright, we got one more speaker. Make some noise for him, y'all. Make a little bit noise for him, y'all. A little bit louder.
What's going on, guys? Thank you. That was a really warm welcome. Probably the best one I've gotten so far. So I want to start off by greeting you all and saying peace be upon you all, especially to my Black and brown and indigenous siblings. Peace be upon all the comrades and allies that are with us here today, and most of all, peace be upon those who have left us early due to state-sanctioned violence. To God we belong, and to Him we shall return. I love being black, but god damn is it exhausting. And I am really trying hard to refrain from cussing because I'm observing Ramadan. But it's really, really disheartening when we have to wake up every day to a new name or new names of our siblings being killed at the hands of the pigs. Every single day, whether it's here in the States or elsewhere. Palestine, for example, because Palestinians face the same state-sanctioned violence and terrorism that black and brown people face here in the settler colonial state. And what's funny is that both live on settler colonial states. One is just Zionist, and the other is just white supremacist. But you know what? They're not parallel. They both connect. Sorry, guys, bear with me. Our existence as black people is a threat to the state, just as our Palestinian siblings' existence is a threat to the colonial Zionist settler state of Israel. Driving while black gets you killed. Daunte Wright, Sandra Bland, and Rayshard Brooks, who was just sleeping in his car, minding his own business. Walking or running while black gets you killed. Ahmaud Arbery, Elijah McClain, Trayvon Martin, and many more. Being a black trans woman gets you killed, dead named, and misgendered by the police and the media. Jada Peterson, 50 bands, and many, many more. These are people who deserved full lives. They are civilians, not military personnel who signed up to fight a war. Unarmed, an unarmed father. An unarmed father who is a son, a brother, a partner, a loved one, a friend. Daunte Wright, just like George Floyd, Sandra Bland, and Elijah McClain, did not know that when he stepped out of his house that day, he would never return to see his baby girl or his family. And neither did Moses Harris, who, as you all know, was not able to survive the pigs and live. This country's so-called justice system was founded and embedded on institutionalized racism. This country was stolen from natives. It was built on the backs of black and brown immigrants and slaves and indigenous people. The prison system is merely another form of slavery by keeping mostly black and brown women and men incarcerated behind bars. The state has normalized the killing of our bodies. Enough is enough. Wanting to live and be respected as a human being is not a political matter. It is a matter of humility and humanity. We want to live dignified and protected. No human should have to ask to live with basic needs and rights. And especially black people who sowed your plantations and breastfed your babies while you continue to enslave us. We sure as hell should not have to ask you for shit, let alone the right to live in peace. Every day we walk out of our homes, we are protesting. Our entire existence and living in this country is a protest. Sure, I can take off my hijab and not be visibly Muslim, but I cannot take off my skin. My skin that I love so much, but that this state sees as a threat. Black parents across America have long been instructing their children on navigating this country's discrimination and I lost my place, guys. Black parents across America have long instructed their children on navigating discrimination and avoiding its sometimes deadly consequences. But for black immigrant or non-immigrant Muslims, this conversation takes on an entirely different dimension. As a black woman, I'm scared of the police and white supremacists because I see that they kill people who look like them. That's just one part of the struggle. As a Muslim woman, I often fear being attacked, or I should say, as a visibly Muslim woman, I oftentimes fear being attacked in a post 9/11 America. A lot of black Muslims, especially from immigrant backgrounds, live at the intersection of Islamophobia and anti-blackness. It affects how they see this fascist, xenophobic, settler colonial state and how they raise their children, especially their daughters. Even within our own Muslim community, so actually if anyone here is a white passing or a white Arab or North African, listen, this is for you, including white people, but I'm talking to my people who are just as racist as white American supremacists. Oftentimes when this conversation is had in our communities as Muslims, especially as black Muslims, you would notice. You say something along the lines like, I am black and Muslim, and they look at you and they say, well, no, you're Muslim, and then you are, and you insert your ethnicity, which is usually being black. To which I usually reply, no, I am black and I am Muslim. So to my people, the white and white passing Arabs and North Africans who benefit from white privilege, pray all your prayers, fast all of Ramadan. If you don't speak on matters of anti-blackness within your own communities, within our communities, within your own homes, then you are just as complicit and racist as white supremacists in this country. It's like you give us this ultimatum to choose between our ethnicities and our religious identities, when in reality both are simultaneously crucial parts of who we are, of our identities. Black people must be protected at all costs. Black Muslim women must be protected at all costs. Black trans women must be protected at all costs. Black people must be protected at all costs. My name is Hiba, and I am proudly a black Arab Muslim woman, and we come in all shades of anger. We will cross your borders and your checkpoints, and you tell us that our wombs will only birth terrorists and sand niggers? This womb of mine will birth sons and daughters with an AK in one hand and a rose in the other. Rebels, not terrorists. They call us terrorists and thugs, but our ancestors did not run around with white capes on their heads lynching black people. So if one more TSA worker frisks me for my skin that they wish they had, for wearing my hijab, or one more white person asks me if I can belly dance, or if my father forced me to wear my hijab, or even calls me exotic, know that I am not your genie in a bottle of harem girl. I am that black Arab woman yelling at demonstrations. Sorry, I am not soft-spoken. Beware of my anger. And I'd like to end this off with one of my favorite parts of Malcolm X's By Any Means Necessary speech. You guys can repeat after me. Especially, actually, you know what? I just want black and brown people to repeat after me. We declare our right on this earth to be a human being. To be respected as a human being. To be given the rights of a human being. In this society, on this earth, in this day, to which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary. By what? By any means necessary. By what? By any means necessary. By what? By any means necessary. I appreciate it.
Make some noise for Hibia. Alright, I'm gonna talk really quick because one speaker died and the other one is on the way. So, first, I need a representative for YDSA to raise their hand, PSL, Socialist Alternative, Mass Action, South End Roxbury Initiative, Black Boston, Solidarity North Shore, Crystal Collective. These are all orgs and individuals that are doing great things for the community. So you need to do everything in your power, especially the people that are sitting at home feeling guilty. You need to do everything in your power to uplift these people because they're uplifting the communities that most of you all don't live in. We spoke on Terrence Coleman. We spoke on Terrence Coleman earlier, and this is a petition that is going around to change the name of the park. I was just told that they need 9,000 signatures in the 5-block radius of South End. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get them 20,000 signatures throughout the great city of Boston. Make some noise. Next Saturday at 1 o'clock at Doherty Playground, there's a nationwide action to reopen the cases of all victims of police brutality, including Terrence Coleman, including Moses Harris, including Bo Ramsey Wright, Osama Rahim, and countless others. Make some noise. Over here, we have another group that services the community and the less fortunate. It's Eastern Service Workers Association. Please connect with them and chat about some things. Real quick before we go, just because my case was brought into light, on December the 12th, I was arrested at Swampscott for assault and battery. On December 12th, I went to Swampscott and I was assaulted by a white supremacist, Linda Greenberg. On December 12th, Linda Greenberg opened up a bottle of Poland Spring water and threw it in my face. In response, just as a natural human being, I reached out to get this water bottle so I wouldn't be assaulted again. Subsequently, because of that, I was arrested within 3 minutes for assault and battery on an elderly person over the age of 65.
Bullshit.
From there, when I went to court that following Monday, they tried to hold me for 3 days on a dangerousness hearing, saying that I was a detriment to the society. They tried to ban me from interactions with all elderly people over the age of 65, and they tried to ban me from the town of Swampscott, even though I will never go back to that shithole again.
No, we gotta go back.
I'm gonna go back with the beach chair and sit where I got arrested and have a steak and cheese. But before I get there, after I had my first pretrial hearing, I was suspended from my job indefinitely, and then later on I was terminated from my job, but I was reminded that when this is all said and done, I could come back to get rehired. And I told them respectfully to fuck off. So my next court date is June 1st. I'm not asking for any pity, I'm not asking for any money. But what I am asking you to do is, if you're not from the city, the greater Boston area, when you go back to your communities, hold motherfuckers accountable. And that includes me too. If I do some shit that you don't like, let me know. Because guess what? If you do some shit that I don't like, I'm gonna let you know. Sounds good? So with all that being said, my name is Shimmy. I'm a part of the Freedom Fighters Coalition, and I really appreciate all of you for coming out for Daunte Wright, for George Floyd, for Bo Ramsey White, for Moses Harris, for me, for the community, for everybody. Big shout outs to the Northeastern students. Make some noise for Northeastern. I think Emerson's here, Wentworth, Berkeley, BU, BC. I love seeing this energy. But make sure you take the buddy system home. This train station's that way, this train station's that way, and this train station's this way. Is anybody walking back to Roxbury? If anybody's walking back, don't worry, you're not alone. We're gonna walk in a big ass group, okay? And with all that being said, the people united will never be defeated. Thank you. Make sure you connect with the group before you go. Solidarity North Shore, Eastern Service Workers Association, YDSA, PSL, Socialist Alternative, Freedom Fighters Coalition, Mass Action, Crystal Collective, NEFAF, Northeastern Front Against Fascism, Peace and Prosperity.
So there you have it. The event is now over. As you see, everyone's leaving the Boston Commons. It was a pretty interesting speech, especially at the end. There was speeches in the beginning and the end. Went for a long march. Highly recommend if you're just tuning in now or later in the video to go back and to see what happened. But overall, pretty fair. It was raining this morning. It lightened up. It was pretty good weather. It wasn't as cold as I thought it was going to be. But thank you for tuning into the Allen Report. We're in Boston, Massachusetts. Tomorrow, there is going to be a protest for peace or something along those lines at the Warren Town Hall in in Rhode Island. So I will be there tomorrow, most likely, to document what that protest is about and all that. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for tuning in to the Allen Report. Until next time, one love. Peace out, y'all. And thank you for whoever's super chatted. Thank you. I didn't get to see who it was, but I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Really quick, I'll look at the chat. Boomer Bob, thank you for smoking that Bob Marley for me. I appreciate it. All right, perfect, guys. All right, well, ciao. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. One love. Peace out, diggity dogs.